Okay, so I've noticed in the last couple of weeks that yet again I've been kind of stagnant with the subscribers, and I just thought it was because, you know, the content was not the greatest. But I've been getting comments like these two here, and I know that this has happened in the past, that YouTube would unsubscribe active subscribers for one reason or the other. This has happened to me, and I know that it has happened to other YouTubers as well, so it's not just like me being paranoid or whatever. So if you like what I'm doing here, it would help a lot if you subscribed, or if you can check if you are actually still subscribed. Now the video. Okay, listen. The winners and losers circle is dumb. I did 2 entire videos explaining why it just was not good, and I don't think it should ever again be a thing on Drag Race. However, for the fun of it all, let's imagine it was implemented on every single Drag Race season prior to season 13. Essentially, this video will be guessing, assessing, assuming which queen would win a lip sync against one of her fellow castmates if they had to lip sync on the spot. Now, of course, doing well in a lip sync is factored by many a thing. The queen's skills, the state that they're in mentally and physically while lip syncing, what they're wearing, what the song is, and so on. For the purposes of this video, we will only be looking at the skills that they have shown on the show and the outfits that they wore as their entrance looks. Who lip syncs against whom? Well, following season 13's example, we will pit every odd-numbered entrant into the workroom against the queen that followed them. If the cast itself is odd-numbered, then the last lip sync is a 3-way lip sync, just like on season 13. I will try my best to explain my reasoning for each winner or loser. Most of them will be kind of obvious, but of course, if you ever disagree, comment down below. And please, don't take this too seriously. Starting with season 1. The first lip sync pits Chanel against Nina Flowers. So, Nina is a performer. We saw that she can hold her own in a lip sync, but I have to give the win here to Chanel. Her confidence at the beginning of season 1 was unmatched. Knowing that the production was looking for a not-so-alternative style of drag for their first ever winner, I feel like they tried to push Chanel more than Nina. Obviously, it would be much funnier to see Chanel be part of the loser circle, and maybe the producers would have gone with that too, but for now, let's have her as the winner. Next, Rebecca Glasscock goes up against Ongina. Rebecca is technically the lip-sync assassin of that season, as she sent 2 queens home and never lost a lip-sync, albeit her lip-sync wins weren't exactly solely because of her skills, but that doesn't matter. Ongina lost her only lip-sync. Okay, well, she was declared the loser. I don't really know if she lost it, let's not talk about that. But this time, I will actually switch it up and say that Ongina would win against Rebecca. The main reason really is that Rebecca just looks very unimpressive here, and again, the confidence thing and the surprise factor of Ongina I think would outweigh whatever Rebecca had going on. Pork Chop would go up against Akasha, and we know how that would work out, so let's move on. For the final lip sync, we would have a 3-way between Tammy, Jade, and BB. I think this one would be between Jade and BB. Jade is a fantastic performer, but the production had a specific view for BB for season 1. As in, they knew what they wanted to portray her as, so, which one would out-lip sync the other? Let's say that BB would win, but Jade would kind of be like the Denali of season 1. We all know that she was robbed. So, in my eyes, the winning circle of season 1 would consist of Chanel, Ongina, Akasha, and BB Zahara Benet. The first lip sync of season 2 would be between Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia, and Shangela from USA. Obviously, no questions asked, Shanji wins this one. Next, Raven goes up against Jujubee. Okay, I think this one is clear as day as well. I think Jujubee would win. Sahara next goes up against Morgan, and as we have seen these 2 lip sync already, we know that Sahara would win. Next, Mystique goes up against Jessica Wild. Now, I think Jessica showed us all on All-Star 6 that her loss to Tatiana on season 2 was just due to circumstances. So I think I'm safe to say that Jessica would win here. Kylie Sonique, back then only going by the latter, would lip sync against Tatiana. See, this is a tough one. We know that they're both really good performers, but they have different styles of lip syncing. Kylie did lose her only lip sync in the season to Morgan, albeit Rue did say that that was the hardest choice he had to make up to that point. Tatiana did beat a stunty performer in a lip sync in Alyssa on All Stars 2 because her name was called first, let's remember that. But I don't think season 2 Tatiana is on the same level as All Stars 2 Tatiana, so I'm giving the win here to Kylie. Lastly, Pandora goes up against Tyra, and I think it's pretty obvious that Tyra would win. So the winner's circle for season 2, I believe, would have consisted of Shangela, Jujubee, Sahara Davenport, Jessica Wilde, Kylie Sonique, and Tyra Sanchez. Season 3's first lip sync would be between Delta Work and Carmen Carrera. I'm giving the win to Delta. Comparing her performances in lip syncs to Carmen's just immediately shows you that Delta's wins were more concrete than Carmen's. Next, Phoenix would go up against Manila, and Manila would eat her up. Thank you very much. Stacy would go up against Venus Delight, and let's say, just because of the outfits, it seems like Stacy's is a little harder to move in, so I guess Venus would win? Question mark? Yara Sofia goes up against Mariah. Here, it's not really a question of who would win, but rather who would lose first. I don't know, let's give it to Yara. At least she has energy when lip syncing. Alexis Mateo would go up against India, and in hindsight, that would be hilarious. Alexis would murder her. Mimi Ann First would go up against Raja. Now, okay, we could also add Shangela onto this and clearly have her be the winner of that three-way lip sync, but because she didn't really enter the workroom, she was, brought in a box, and she popped out of that box, I'm keeping this just between Mimi and Raja. Obviously, Raja would win. Thus, the winner's circle for season 3 would have had in it Delta Work, Manila Luzon, Venus Delight, I guess, Yara Sofia, Alexis Mateo, and Raja. Interesting how so far for each season the winner was the last to enter the workroom and was in the winner's circle. Let's see if the latter will stay a trend until the end. For season 4, we start with Willam versus LaShawn. This is honestly a tough one. We didn't see much of LaShawn performing on the season itself, but we did see Willam in a lip sync. We saw Willam winning a lip sync, to be more precise. As Willam was clearly in that Candy Muse spot for her entrance, let's give the win to Willam. I guess the production would want her on the winner's team. Next, Jiggly goes against Jeremy, and I know that the latter wasn't really shown as the most exceptional of performers on either season they were on, but I think with Jeremy's confidence back then, there was no way for Jiggly to win. Madame LaQueer would take on Milan, and most probably she would lose. Alyssa would be completely eaten up by Dita Ritz. Legend Dita Ritz, must I remind you. The princess would go up against Lil Kenya Michaels and would most probably lose. Chad Michaels, legend Chad Michaels, would go up against Sharon Needles and Latrice Royale. Okay, they really kept the best for last. I mean, I guess you have to give it to Latrice, right? Yeah, let's go with that. Season 4 breaks the streak of the winner of the season being in the winner's circle, as here the winners are Willam, Jeremy, Milan, Dita Ritz, Kenya Michaels, and Latrice Royale. Season 5 is up next with its first entrant, legend Detox, going up against Roxy Andrews. Another legend, would you believe it? Yes, I would. Holy shit. Okay, first of all, I'm mad that we never got to see a lip sync between these two, but I have to give this one to Roxy. It seems like Detox's look is a little restrictive, maybe for a lip sync, and we know that Roxy can throw it down in a lip sync battle, so Detox would need to be on her A game to beat her. Next, Jay Jolie would go up against Serena Chacha. Okay, another interesting pairing. I have to give it to Jade Jolie, I guess. Now, I need you all to remember that she held her own in her lip sync against Coco, and that's tough, because do you know who Coco Montrese is? So, yeah, I'm giving it to Jade. Alyssa Edwards is up against Jinx Monsoon. You know I love Jinxie, but Alyssa would win. Penetration would go up against Vivian Panay. Wow, what an interesting pairing that I think we're all invested in. Man, I don't fucking know. Like, Vivian, because she's prettier, sure, why not? Alaska, horse mask and all, would go up against Honey Mahogany. Now, hear me out. Alaska's entire story on season 5 was being in Sharon's shadow, so let's imagine that they would also push that in this first lip sync and give the win to Honey. Ivy Winters, I'm not doing the voice, is up next and she would have to go up against Monica. I'm giving this to Ivy. Yes, she lost her only lip sync in the season, but she went up against Alyssa there. Similarly, Monica was eliminated after lip syncing to Coco, but her only other appearance in a lip sync is a win against Serena Chacha, and we know that Monica did not come into the season with a lot of confidence, so that's why I'm giving the win to Ivy. And lastly, Lineysha would be murdered on that stage by Coco Montrese. Yep, that would happen. The winner's circle for season 5 consists of Roxy Andrews, Jade Jolie, Alyssa Edwards, Vivian Panay, I guess? Honey Mahogany. Ooh, these last two being here is a bit of a travesty. Never mind. Ivy Winters and Coco Montrese. Season 6 had a split premiere, or split premieres, I don't know. So we're doing the 2 episodes individually, no overlapping of the queens. We started this off with a lip sync between Adore Delano and Ben de la Creme. I'm giving the win to Adore. Statistically, she does better in lip syncs than Dela, and Dela lost all of her lip syncs on season 6, so why wouldn't she lose this one as well? Next, Gina Gum goes up against Laganja, and as we have seen these 2 lip sync, and as Laganja came in with such a massive amount of energy, I'm sure Laganja would beat Gia. And lastly, for the first premiere, there is a 3-way lip sync between April, Kelly, and Vivacious. Now this is a tough one because Kelly lost to Vivacious, and April beat Vivacious, but that really only happened because of the choice of the song, so okay, you know what? I'm going to give the win to Vivacious here. Plus, honestly, it would be kind of hilarious to see her lip sync in this. Next, Bianca Del Rio would go up against Trinity K. Bonet, and she would lose. Jocelyn Fox would go up against Milk, and I think Jocelyn would win here. The shoes that Milk has on would probably make it hard for her to put up a proper fight. And our last lip sync is another 3-way between Magnolia Crawford, Courtney Act, and Darian Lake. Darian would win, of course, though Courtney I think would put up a good fight. The winner's circle for season 6 would have in it Adore Delano, Laganja, Vivacious, Trinity K. Bonet, Jocelyn Fox, and Darian Lake. This might have turned out a little differently had the season not had a split premiere, I think. So Vivacious would beat Bianca, Trinity would beat Jocelyn, Milk maybe would beat Magnolia, and Darian would beat Courtney. But as you can see, the difference isn't that noticeable. Either way, for the 3rd season in a row, the winner is not part of the winner's circle. Let's see if that changes with season 7. Miss Fame is first in the workroom, followed by Ginger Minj, and of course, Ginger would win the lip sync. Jade and Dior Fierce would then beat Violet. Max next goes up against Katya, and loses, of course. Jasmine Masters goes up against Mrs. Kasha Davis, and they're both highly energetic lip syncers. They both lost their lip syncs to 2 really strong performers in Kennedy and Candy respectively, so I'm not sure. They could also both go a comedic route with their lip sync, so this is a tough one. Okay, thinking of the storylines of the season and knowing who's going to be up next because I already have this written down, let's give the win to Jasmine. Next, Trixie and Candy have to lip sync, and of course Candy would beat Trixie. Pearl and Kennedy are next in the workroom, and I think we all know Kennedy would beat Pearl here. Lastly, Sasha Bell would go up against Tempest du Jour. Sir, I don't know. Tempest? Because she had the baby prop that she could do something with? I don't know. Okay, so I guess the winner circle here consists of Ginger Minj, Jaden Dior Fierce, Katya, Jasmine Masters, Candy Ho, Kennedy Davenport, and Tempest du Jour, I guess. Okay, so yet again, the winner is in the loser circle. Interesting. Season 8 starts off with Naomi Smalls' legs, and then the rest of her shows up, against Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I'm giving this to Naomi, of course. Dax, exclamation point, question mark, semicolon, would go up against Naysha Lopez, and I want to say that no. Okay, well, listen, Naysha lost 2 lip syncs. and Dax lost a lip sync that she was in because of a poor performance in a performing challenge. Okay, this is a tough one. Okay, only because Dax's outfit is better, let's give her the win. Acid Betty would go up against Robbie Turner. I'm giving the win here to Robbie. She did win a lip sync on this season, and Acid was in those big ass platforms, so I think it would be harder for her to move. So yeah, again, Robbie. Kimchi would lose a lip sync to anyone, but here in particular, she would lose against Thorgy. But it wouldn't surprise me if the producers tried to pull a quick one on us and they gave the win to Kimchi. Not on my watch, though. Bob the Drag Queen next would go up against Layla McQueen, and of course, Bob would win. And lastly, we have a lip sync between Chi Chi DeVayne and Derek Barry. First of all, I wish we could have seen this lip sync, especially with Derek in this outfit. However, I do have to give the win to Chi Chi. Even if possibly the production would have pushed Derek and given her the win, I think Chi Chi overall is just a better performer. The winning circle thus has Naomi Smalls, Dax, Robbie Turner, Thorgy Thor, Bob the Drag Queen, and Chi Chi DeVayne. We begin season 9's round of lip syncs with Peppermint versus Valentina. Of course, Peppermint would win, like, what do you mean? Next, Eureka would go up against Charlie Hides, and Eureka wins, of course. Pheromone would battle Sasha Velour in a lip sync, and I think that with a given song like a Britney or a Christina, or really any pop girl song, Farrah would be able to win. And without Sasha being able to prepare like she did for her lip syncs for her crown, this might be a little controversial, but I'm giving it to Farrah. Alexis Michelle would go up against Shea Coulee. Now, I know some might think that this would be an easy win for Shea, but I think Alexis would put up a hell of a fight. Still, in the end, yeah, Shea most probably would win it. Trinity the Tuck would beat Kimora Black next. Lastly, of course, we would have a three-way lip sync between James Mansfield, Nina Bonina Brown, and Aja. Now, I think it's fair to say that Aja would win this one. Yes, Nina did beat her in their lip sync, but consider the circumstances. Plus, Aja was in the popular queen entrant position, and she had a reveal with her outfit. That would have helped her probably in the lip sync. Of course, I'm not going to count Cynthia here, as she came in later, and I'm not going to count Gaga, because even if I insinuate that she would consider lip-syncing ever in her life, her fans would kill my aunt. The winner's circle for season 9 would thus be Peppermint, Eureka, Pheromone, Shea Coulee, Trinity the Tuck, and Aja. Have you noticed a trend with the winners of the seasons and where they place? Interesting. Season 10 starts us off with a lip sync between Eureka and Asia O'Hara. Okay, I'll go out on a limb and say Eureka. Just because of how much we know that production loves her, and because it would be sort of a redemption for her, coming back from her injury and all. Miz Cracker would go up against friend of the channel, Yuko Hamasaki. Assuming that she doesn't have a reveal under her look, maybe it would be harder for Yuhua to move in her look, so I guess I'll give the win to Miz Cracker? Question mark. I don't know. Yuko Hamasaki now the enemy of the channel? I don't know. Blair St. Clair would next be beaten by Monet Exchange. What else is there to say? Cameron and Mayhem would have a hell of a lip sync against each other, and I'll have to give the win here to Mayhem. Cameron would pull stunts, but Mayhem would also pull stunts, but in this dress, so that would be more impressive. Plus, knowing Mayhem's story with Drag Race, it would be nice to see her win. Calorie, whom I actually forgot existed, would then go up against Monique Hart, and I think Monique would win. I mean, I think she should have been crowned just because of this outfit, but, you know. Then Dusty would most certainly lose against the Vixen. And for our last lip sync, we have Vanessa Mateo versus Aquaria. I don't know. They're both really good performers, and Aquaria is wearing something that's not the best thing to perform in. But then again, she could just take the skirt off. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Why not? Let me give the win to Aquaria. I can see it happening. The winner's circle for season 10 would then be Eureka, yet again, Miz Cracker, Monet Exchange, Mayhem Miller, Monique Hart, The Vixen, and Aquaria. Season 11 starts off with Miss Vanjie in the workroom being then joined by Nina West. Now, I believe Vanessa would beat Nina here. Sugarcane versus Plastique is next, and Plastique. Yeah, Plastique, definitely. She could, I don't know, rip the train of her look and give like little drama in her performance. Plus, she's hell of a dancer, of course. Suga's great too, but I think here Plastique would win. Mercedes Iman Diamond is up next, up against Scarlett Envy, and I believe Mercedes would win this. Honey Davenport would go up against Akira, and I think Akira would win this one. Evie is next in the workroom, and she would lip sync against Silky. Again, in hindsight, I would love to see it, especially now after All-Star 6 and knowing how good Silky can be. But she's going up against Evie, who is a hell of a performer, only because we did see Silky lose one lip sync and be horrible in another. I mean, she was great in like 6 lip syncs, but and Evie never had a bad lip sync performance. I'ma give this to Evie. But this lip sync would probably be the best of the episode. Brooke next would go up against my good friend, Ariel Versace, and she would of course beat her. Maybe Ariel would have a reveal under her Lizzie McGuire look. Who knows? But yeah, Brooke wins for now. Winner of All-Star 6, Raja O'Hara would lip sync against Kahana and Soju, and Raja would win this one. So let's see. The winner circle for season 11 consists of, or rather would consist of, Miss Vanjie, Plastique, Mercedes Iman Diamond, Akira Chanel Davenport, Evie Oddly, Brooklyn Heights, and, of course, Raja O'Hara. Season 12, the last season that we're doing today, also had a split premiere, so we're doing the 2 groups of queens individually. First, we have a lip sync between Britta and Nikki. Yeah, Britta is winning this one for sure. Widow is next, and first let me ask you if you have praised her today. If you have not, do it. But she would beat Jackie in their lip sync. Legend, Heidi, is up next, and she'd have to lip sync against Gigi and a child, I mean Crystal, and Heidi would murder them both. In the second group of queens, we start off with legitimately one of the hottest queens out of drag, Rock'em Sakura, going up against Dahlia Sin. Now, I think Rock'em would beat her. Next, Sherry Pie would go up against Jan, and knowing as what archetype she was cast as, I think they'd give the win to Sherry. And lastly, Jada Legend Hall, Legend would go up against Aiden, and Legend Jada would of course beat her. Thus, the last winner circle would consist of Britta, Widow Von Du, Heidi in Closet, Rock'em Sakura, Sherry Pie, and Jada Legend Hall. And I believe that the exact same 6 queens would have been in the winner circle had there only been one premiere, or to be more precise, if the cast hadn't been divided into 2 teams. And that's it. That's the video. What did we learn from this video? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You'll better like and comment or subscribe, or I will get those fans of Gaga's who killed my aunt, and we're coming for your ass. Thank you for watching.